Weather at Fenway Park on September 28, 1960 for Ted Williams' final game was raw and windy, more suitable for football than baseball, but typical weather for early spring and late fall games in Boston. Before the game, Ted stopped to chat with Joe Cronin, his Red Sox manager when Williams came up to the big leagues in 1939. Then onto the field, where he was greeted by the cheers of just 10,454 faithful Red Sox fans. Williams was presented with Boston's traditional gift, a Paul Revere bowl. And then Mayor John Collins, crippled by polio a few years earlier, spoke briefly and presented Ted with a check for the Jimmy Fund. Kurt Gowdy gave a glowing speech highlighting Ted's career, telling the crowd that they would probably never see another ball player like him. When it was Ted's turn to say goodbye, he made a brief reference to his differences with the Knights of the Keyboard and told the fans if he had to start his career over, he wanted to play in Boston for the greatest owner in the game and the greatest fans in America. Then it was warm-up time for the 42-year-old Williams and what would be his last day as a major league player. The Sox had lost to the Orioles 17-3 the day before and were firmly mired in 7th place. But now the game was on. With Steve Barber, a young pitcher born about the time Ted Williams had been a Red Sox rookie, on the mound for Baltimore. Barber walked Williams. It was cold and getting darker when Ted was moved around the bases by a hit, a pass ball, and a line drive to center field. Ted tagged up and slid home to score. In the 3rd inning, Ted was up again against Jack Fisher, another young Baltimore pitcher who had replaced Barber. With the count at 1-1, Ted hit a long drive that looked like it was gone, but Jackie Brandt caught it near the bullpen. Williams came up for the 3rd time in the 5th inning. There were 2 out with the Sox down by 2 runs. He hit another long drive, this time almost to the 380 sign in right field. But Al Pelagic, the Baltimore right fielder, pulled it in, and Ted headed back to left field for the top of the 6th inning. There was a brief distraction near the end of a late September day. It got so dark that the seldom used night game lights were turned on. Then Ted came out of the dugout one more time, prepared to bat. The crowd stood and applauded like they were double their number, probably more applause than Willie Tasby at the plate had ever heard. With the count 1-1, Jack Fisher wound up. This time it was right over the plate. Crack through Fenway's lights and gray sky, a 440-foot blast into the bullpen near deep right center, gone. With his head down, Ted rounded the bases, the crowd applauding wildly, the 10,000 plus now sounding like 100,000. Ted crossed the plate, a quick handshake with Red Sox catcher Jim Pagliarone, then into the dugout with a fan trying to go in after him. Teddy Ball Game had ended his amazing career with a dramatic home run, his 521st, a grand exit. It had been a long and memorable day, but Ted paused for a quiet moment with an old friend, former Braves owner Judge Emil Fuchs. Then it was time for final goodbyes to players, umpires who had witnessed his batting skills up close, and manager Mike Higgins. Hollywood couldn't have scripted it any better. Teddy Ball Game's perfection with the bat. The kid held up his Red Sox uniform shirt with its memorable number 9 for a final picture, blew it a kiss, and hung it up. It was over.